My name is James O'Keefe, and the girl works for me. And she recorded you. You're at Meta, and you're talking about... He said, and then he hung up the phone.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about James O'Keefe back at it again, exposing more people. This time, it's within Meta. And to be specific, we're talking about Facebook. Now, you guys know Meta, they got a bunch of different things. They got WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. However, Facebook specifically is where all of the censorship really goes down. Try posting a meme over there. They're going to put a fact checker on it. I posted the Tampon Tim waltz, his family, waltzes for Trump. They fact checked that, talking about, oh, well, that's his third and fourth cousins. What? So are they related to him or not? It is really ridiculous over there. We all know they engage in censorship, and now we have evidence from engineers over at Meta. But first things first, they've responded. When I say they, I mean Facebook. This is a Facebook spokesperson, Andy Stone. He responded after Elon Musk retweeted the video we're going to see in a minute. You know, when Elon retweets something, it's going to go like wildfire. So what did he say? This is something Meta has been public about for years. We show less political content of all kinds and of all viewpoints because users have told us they want to see less of it. Okay, now, is that the case for conservative content, liberal content, all content in reality, or are you just saying that? Furthermore, I don't see anything that's anti-Trump really get censored. All that I see is memes with stuff. It's a mess over there. It really is. And if what you're saying is correct, then why did the guy say something different? And then when they got called by James O'Keefe, it's like, oh, oops. I mean, what's really going on? Now, before I go any further, let's get to the actual clip here. Of course, I will link to this in the box. There's a lot to this whole investigation. And again, shout out to James O'Keefe. Shout out to O'Keefe Media Group. You guys are doing the Lord's work right alongside Project Veritas still and Steven Crowder. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Okay, so like the mainstream media does the job for you guys.
Basically.
Okay.
Meet Matthew Fowler, a software engineer at Meta. During an undercover date with our OMG journalist, Matthew Fowler reveals how Meta handles disinformation.
Usually this information we saw was pro-Trump.
So let's say if they have like a dangerous rhetoric, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's like some kind of, I don't know, pro-Republican bullshit, let's say, right?
Yeah.
Let's say like they're saying like, oh, illegals are killing like and eating all the dogs and cats. So that's something that you guys investigate and you take that down.
That's a really good question, actually. Very good question.
So we don't take it down.
You investigate, sorry.
We'll investigate, and then it goes, it's up to another team to take it down.
Fowler also expressed concern about Meta's political landscape, admitting, quote, pretty much everyone I know there is liberal.
I think like Meta is more kind of like more democratic, more patriotic.
More people, pretty much everyone I know there is liberal.
What is Zuck doing? Is he
He's playing the game.
Do you think he's like distancing himself from like the Democrats?
I think he's distancing himself from everyone. He's trying to play the games based on who's going to win the election.
Now,
I think we pretty much, we know that about Zuck. You know, he's just, hey, man, I got to protect the bag. Depending upon who wins, who loses, it can affect the direction of my company. And we're talking about billions of dollars on the line. So I'm not really mad at him for that, to be totally honest.
Introduce you to our next Meta subject, Michael Zurab. Zurab is a data scientist at Meta, and like his other Meta counterparts, he too spoke about their efforts to censor conservatives, sharing that most fact checkers label conservative posts as false.
The vast majority of what fact checkers label as false is shared by conservatives. And so any policy that demotes content that is labeled false by fact checkers is going to disproportionately affect conservatives.
But why are they labeled as false? Is it because they're inherently false?
Very good question, actually. Why are they labeled false? Is it because they are? Is it because most of the content that is false online, when you're speaking about politics, is conservative, right wing? Is that the reason, or is it something else? Very good question.
Or they are just the fact checkers have inherent biases?
I mean, it's probable. Like, I doubt the fact checkers are completely unbiased.
Zurab also shared to our OMG American Swiper that most fact checkers at Meta are liberal coated.
Would you say most of your fact checkers are like liberal?
I mean, they're like mainstream media, so I think that would be liberal coded. So the Hunter Biden
Liberal coded. It's like some kind of like Gen Z thing. I've seen that before. I think I saw that on social media, coded. I'm so old, I don't know what all these terms mean.
story, the Hunter Biden laptop story is one example. And so apparently the like FBI, I think, like told Meta, like, hey, there's this big story that's gonna release and the Russians are involved with it. And then like the next day, this Hunter Biden laptop story comes out in the New York Post. And so Meta like reduced the dissemination of that post on Facebook. Like through ranking, like we just downranked it.
Oh, I see.
So it just appeared on people's feeds less.
So the question is, can you really be a fact checker if you are liberal coated? Now,
no, you can't. And I've seen a lot of these I've gone to the fact checker website. When they put a notice on my stuff, I go to the fact checker website. It's always a bunch of anti-conservative, anti-Trump, anti anything right on the website. Always. It never fails.
Now for our last subject of Playman Jailpov, who also holds the title of engineer at Meta, he too decided to meet with an OMG American Swiper. Meta employees love our journalists. Quite fascinating. The Meta engineer reveals right-wing people on Meta are either censored or flagged as disinformation on their site.
Meta has the right to suppress anything.
Yeah, but it seems like they're biased if they do that.
So
Against the Republicans. I personally don't care, but
Yeah.
that's what they think.
But I mean, does Meta can Meta censor anyone?
I think they can because it's a private company.
So do you guys?
Now, I'm glad that he's able to admit that there's some bias going on. And this is a guy that's an actual engineer at the company. It isn't just a regular person. This guy's at the company like, yeah, I don't really care about what they're talking about, left, right, Democrat, Republican, but I see that the bias is there. This, in my humble opinion, is an honest person just telling the truth. Now, some are going to say, well, hey, ABO, he's on the date. He's trying to impress the date. We got a bunch of different guys all pretty much saying the exact same thing. And the things that they're saying are obvious. And we've been saying it for years. The Hunter Biden laptop story, I cover that a lot. I was one of those guys that posted the Hunter Biden laptop story and then censored my post, took down my post. I know guys lost the whole Facebook page behind that. So what they're saying are things that we've already known. It's just good to hear it straight from the proverbial horse's mouth. But I digress.
Actually suppress those like crazy conspiracy right-wing people when they post like just absolute garbage.
Like I said, I think it's like it's either censored or it says like a community note thing where it says like if this is disinformation, it's probably fake, blah blah blah, blah under the post.
That's what they do. They fact check memes. They fact check that. Look, Facebook is so crazy. They will fact check memes that you post in stories. You know, Instagram, they got a story. You can put the same story on Facebook and they will fact check your story. I've never seen such ridiculousness in my life. Facebook is the absolute worst platform on the internet when it comes to censorship. Now, on the other hand, the other meta platform or another meta platform, Instagram, is not that bad. It's weird. I think it's specific to Facebook where you got a lot of censorship. All right, so that's that. Shout out to James O'Keefe. Shout out to O'Keefe Media Group for doing the Lord's work. And your journalists, your undercover girls, hey, I don't know what they got going on, how they look like. They must be the most beautiful girls in the entire Silicon Valley, wherever they are, because they're getting the job done. They're getting the information. And again, as I close, I want to say this. The excuse is going to be, oh, they were on the date. They're just trying to impress the girls. But you got different guys all saying the same thing. And all of what they said, we know to be true. So what's really going on? Don't act like what they're saying is not the truth. Don't try to hide from the obvious. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your thoughts on what you heard here from the Facebook engineers? Are you surprised? Not surprised? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is of no surprise to me. I've known this for years. I've had it happen to me on several occasions. I'm talking about they didn't fact check memes. They didn't take it down videos over the smallest things. The craziest fact check that I saw was when they fact checked that Tim Walz picture talking about, oh, these are not his first cousin, second cousins, there's a third or fourth cousin. It's like, it really matters that you got a bunch of people who are his cousins and relatives and whatnot that say Waltz is for Trump. It doesn't really matter how close they are in relation. They are related. So it's not a lie. But that's the kind of thing they do over on Facebook. And it's two conservatives. I've never seen any liberal stuff get fact checked at all. Maybe I'm not seeing what I'm supposed to see. But the engineers themselves are telling us what's going on. So it's not just me not knowing what's happening and losing my mind. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.